All right, welcome everyone to our next episode, number 2. We had so much fun the first time of surviving special needs parenting. And we decided today to really niche down and talk about the all encompassing mom guilt and feeling that overwhelm. And I'm here with my friend Michelle Finn, who is a fellow special needs mom. And we both have sons with the same rare genetic syndrome, 1p36 deletion syndrome, which brought us together and really has given us this platform of empowering other moms like us, like you, that needs this discussion. So we just kind of get on and we riff. We don't really plan a lot. We say, here's the topic, and we just can talk for hours. So we're not going to talk for hours, but we'd want to keep this around 10, 15 minutes. So we'd love for you to hang in there with us and just talk about what we have come in, what we've seen in this journey of feeling that mom guilt and some of the tools we have utilized to get over it. And it does still happen to all of us, but having the tools in your toolbox is so powerful going forward in this journey. So Michelle, hello.
Hello.
So I was talking to Michelle before when we started, and I was telling her how it doesn't matter who you are as a mom, this becomes an issue. And not even just special needs moms. I mean, there's working moms, there's stay-at-home moms, but especially in the special needs mom community, we have a lot on our plates, right? So Michelle doesn't necessarily have the supportive husband, all the backup and the help that I have. And I feel myself feeling guilty sometimes because I do have all those things, and who am I to still feel overwhelmed and mom guilt? And I should be able to do all the things because I have all this support. But even for me in my situation, I do deal with this too. And it's funny because Michelle, what did you say when I told you that?
I said I was thinking along the same way is even though I don't have that same kind of support and it becomes overwhelming. I know for you also, just us talking back and forth as much as we do, you have overwhelm also, and it doesn't matter your situation. It doesn't matter what's going on in your world. Mom guilt's real, and no matter how easy or how difficult your life is flowing in that moment, because we know that can switch at any time, but it's real no matter your situation. And I mean, you still have a nonverbal son who relies on you to take care of him, and just because you have backup doesn't mean that you get to live this carefree, woohoo, everything's good, I have no extra stress life. And for me, it was finding that, okay, I don't have that backup. How do I do this? And that's, with my clients, that's what I hear a lot of. I hear a lot of anger from moms when you say, you need to make yourself a priority. And I get it. I was there. I understand what it is to be like, wow, walk a mile in my shoes. You don't know how this is. You don't know how it works. But you start off small, and then it grows. And the more you learn how to take care of yourself, the easier it becomes, and the better a parent you are, the more patience you have. I know with Joshua, he doesn't sleep. So as I've learned how to take care of myself, it used to be like me wanting to like pull my hair out and scream and throw a temper tantrum every night because he wasn't sleeping. Now
Self-care is so important in that. It's so important. I mean, from sleep to what you eat to everything.
Yes, and you're getting ready to, well, you had just started running a 5-day free sleep workshop.
Yeah, it actually starts April 19th. I'm going to be running it in my free community, Coordinated Chaos. And I just try to do a free group every month to really work on that self-care. Like last month, we did time management, because overwhelm also can come in the forms of thinking that you just have everything to do, right? Like it gets overwhelming, the to-do list. How many of us lay in bed going, oh, I didn't get to that, I didn't get to that, I need to do this, I need to do this. So for me, putting it down on paper, even if I don't get to it all, it just releases some of that anxiety and the constant spinning in my head and the energy we spend there. And the same goes with, that's why I went into sleep, because so many of us, especially in the special needs community, we struggle with sleep. And sometimes there's only so much we can do because we do have a child that's up. But my whole thing about this is going forward is taking control of what we can, which is that nighttime routine, and setting us up for success, turning the devices off, having a good plan for the morning, just a way to go to sleep that sets us up for success after. So that's really what that goal is. One thing that I did want to talk about though, beyond that, is where I started with mom guilt and where I am today and the overwhelm. I look at where I was and in the very beginning of diagnosis. And those first stages, there's so much. There's so many appointments to go to. There's so many different therapists coming into your house, coming into your life, you going to them, and they all give you these awesome assignments. Okay, this is going to be your goal. This is what you need to
Get
work
this
on.
done.
In school, IEP, this is what you need to work on.
And if you don't do it, you're going to fail your kid.
Oh my God. And you're like, I have to do all these things. And I'm like, okay. And you feel like you have to be this super mom because you're on this like journey. And yes. And what fixed it for me was realizing that I can say no. Actually, that's not a priority for me. Actually, you can work on that with him, but I'm going to just focus on this, being a mom, keeping my kid alive right now, keeping me sane right now. And when I can, I do know that that is a goal and I'll have that in mind, but it does not have to overwhelm you and make, and just because they're working on it, you can still be mom and you can say no to having all these assignments on top of your to-do list. And I just wanted to take this time to make that very clear to you guys that you don't have to take it all on.
But I think the guilt comes in because we are taught, like you have that 5-year window, right? When your child is diagnosed with special needs, if you don't teach them how to walk or teach them how to talk or teach them how to tie their shoes or go to the bathroom, by the time they're 5, they're probably not going to do it. We know for sure that is not the case. Look, I took my son to therapy 9 hours a day for years. My son doesn't walk independently. He doesn't feed himself independently. He doesn't talk. You know what? I know at the end of the night that I have given him every tool to reach his fullest potential. Whatever that is okay. But here's the thing. I killed myself doing it.
Right.
And it didn't change our scenario because he was still having therapy. He still had teachers when he was in school working with him. We still had things that we went to. We didn't miss doctor's appointments. Taking care of myself didn't mean neglecting him, but it did mean, what can I let go? You know, like for example, part of my journey in the beginning was working out. I mean, it still is, but that was one of my first steps, was working out. And Joshua is in my videos on top of me while I'm working out. He's in my face giving me kisses as I'm doing sit-ups. And that's the thing, start out small, or else he will roll on his face and act like he can't move. Literally. I mean, and in some of the videos, you'll see him like roll over to his stomach and just lay on his face. That used to kill me. It used to kill me. Like, I need to be entertaining him. You know what? No, I don't. I entertain him almost all day long. It's okay to take a half hour for yourself. And that's where I tell people to start. Start with the small things. It will grow as you learn how to take care of yourself, but start with the small things. What do you want to do? What's going to make you happy? Is it sitting down and reading a book? Is it working out? Is it going for a walk? Is it just watching a favorite TV show and not feeling like you have to get up and feed your kid or check on your kid? You can get cameras. If your children are in their room, you can have cameras. Keep them in a safe place. Right. Turn the TV on, whatever, for a half hour. That is not neglecting your child. No, now, if you're doing it all day, that's a different story. And that's where people start to feel guilty, is they think that they're doing it all day when they've done it for a half hour. It's okay.
Also think that getting support, and obviously not everyone can have the supportive husband or get all the services because of where you might live or what's available to you. But we are in a beautiful world of technology and social media and online therapists, online life coaches, online support groups, you can plug in and get support, because isolation is a real issue, and focusing on the negative and the suck of life will only bring on more suck in your life. So by being around support and positivity and people to uplift you and know where you're from and where you're coming from and have been there, that is powerful. That lets you focus on what's good. That brings more good into your life so that you can focus on the light, and you don't have to do this alone.
No, and I run monthly support groups for special needs moms. And there are more workshops now, but I have people at the end of the month say to me, oh my gosh, this is what I did this month, and it feels so good. And they're making these huge, small changes that have this huge impact on their lives. and they want to keep going with it. And that brings me joy, because I've come to the other side of that. So I know it's possible. And I was the mom that didn't believe it was possible, you know?
Right. No, you weren't. You were like, nope, I'm not putting my oxygen mask on. It goes on him first. You were one of those.
Well, yeah. And it was like, how dare you with all of, and that's how we came with the support. How dare you with all your support tell me how to do this when I don't have that support? I don't, but you know what? There was a way to figure it out.
100%. And we are given our situation and our struggles to make us stronger and to create the life that we were supposed to live. And it's just, I was going to say something and now I forgot. So you can keep going.
Well, you did trigger me with the life that you're supposed to live. Here's the thing. We sometimes make ourselves somewhat martyrs, and we live for our kids and we don't live for ourselves. Our lives are not supposed to just be about our kids. This is our life too, and we need to enjoy it. We can't go on if we don't have any joy in our life. And I'm sorry, as much as I love Josh, watching him thrive brings me so much joy, but it is not everything I need to fulfill myself.
And I think to kind of wrap it up before we go into that practice that we're going to gift everybody with, that you're going to allow us a breathing treatment. I want to also point out the fact that breathing treatment, I guess not a breathing treatment. It's not like a nebulizer. That one of the things that really brought both of us out of our mom guilt, our overwhelm, and it added something else to our plate, but it added something that fueled our body, was something for ourselves, a goal for ourselves. We work so hard on the goals for our kids that we don't allow ourselves to set goals in our own life. And me having my coaching business and Michelle having her coaching business, it allows us to sit down and focus on something that we are passionate about. When Michelle gets those wins from her clients, that feels so good to be a part of somebody else's. And me too. That's why we do what we do. And it fuels our fire. It fills our cup, because we've all heard the saying, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So by getting sleep, by getting the support of other people, of life coaches, of therapists, of eating right, of working out, of having goals for yourself that you're passionate about, that's how you fill that cup to continually pour out into your family, into your kids, so that you can be the best for them. Being in a place of guilt and overwhelm only brings on stress and frustration and resentment that doesn't serve anyone.
Yeah, absolutely, 100.
Boom, mic drop.
There you go. All right, so we're going to do just a breathing technique. We're not going to go too far into it. Maybe next time I'll do a meditation with you guys, because I know when I ask my clients, I always start sessions with what went well this week. And a lot of times in the beginning, they can't tell me what went well, because we live in this world of negativity and just depression. So if you feel that way and you can't find the good in life, I encourage you to start a gratitude journal, even if it's just one word a day of something that made you smile. It doesn't have to be a big accomplishment. There you go. That's it. It doesn't have to be a big accomplishment. It can be this, like, today is a gorgeous, beautiful day. I had nothing to do with that, but man, I'm enjoying it. I love the sun. So I encourage that. And like I said, maybe next time I'll do a meditation, because when I ask what their ahas were, everybody's always like, that meditation was wonderful, because it lets us get out of our mind for a moment. And the breathing technique that I'm going to teach you today is it's a very quick breathing technique. I suggest you do it 5 to 7 times in a row, 5 to 7 times a day. It will not help you quickly, but in the long term, what it's going to do is it's going to relax your nervous system. We, especially as special needs parents, we are in this fight or flight mode. We're worried about IEPs. Are we getting our kids to therapies? When's the next seizure happening? What's going on with their heart? Are we taking enough care of them? It's so overwhelming in our heads. And that's why, because we can't get out of our heads, that's why we have a hard time taking care of ourselves and feeling all of this mom guilt. So it's just a 5-5-7 breath, and I'm not going to make you guys do it with me right now, unless you want. Do you want to?
We'll do one. Yeah, let's do one.
So we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our nose. So breathe in for 5. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, sometimes when you start breathing in for 5, exhaling for 7 is a lot. It's just like anything else, you have to practice to work up to that. So you can start with 2, you can start with 3, you can start with 4. With the exhale, if you're having a hard time doing the longer exhale, take a break. So when you're doing the 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. 5, 6, 7. It really does make a huge change. The reason you want that longer exhale is because that is what is relaxing our parasympathetic nervous system, That's what gets our body in a relaxed state. That's what calms our inflammation. That's what keeps us from getting sick. And that's why I said do it 5 to 7 times in a row, 5 to 7 times a day. And the more you do it, the more your body is going to know relaxation more than that chaos that we normally go through.
Actually, and I was thinking that might be something I implement in my nighttime routine.
Yeah, it's a great one.
That's a calming thing, because I count right now. I go, well, like I count sheep. I go 1,000 and I get to like 32 1,000 and it starts like working my brain. But I think that doing those number sequences would really help relax me into a place.
Try it with your kids too, not just with James, but Charlie too, because if you try it with your children, when Josh was in the hospital, when we think he was battling COVID in 2020, he had broke his leg. He was in so much pain. His heart rate was like in the 180s, 190s at times. He was being in so much pain. And I would just sit next to his bed and go, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2. Just that cadence. And even though he can't follow it completely, you would see him like, and then you'd watch his heart rate just drop.
I think our kiddos are so much more in tune to our feelings and our stress and pick up on it. So the less stress we can bring into a situation, especially when we have high stress situations with our kids and we come into that mindfully and in a relaxed state, I think there's a lot of power in that.
It absolutely is. But we will end it on that so we don't go too long.
Yes.
It was great talking to you. If you guys have any questions, comment below, let us know. We'll be happy to answer anything you need.
Also, let us know if there's any other topics you'd like us to talk about, because we're having a lot of fun with this and we want to do this more. We feel like we're serving our community. We love to chat and we feel like we've gone through a lot and done a lot of work in learning about these skills. So ask us. We would love to talk about it more.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.